Hello again. This is Charles Greenwald with another presentation. This time it's on accounting whistleblowers. I chose to do the high-profile WorldCom Betty Vinson whistleblower. So anyway, just real quick on the facts here. Betty was a hardworking accounting manager for WorldCom, which is one of the, at least at the time, one of the largest telecom companies in the late 90s and early 2000s. Due to an economic downturn, WorldCom came on some hard times. And the company announced to investors that it would not be, meeting its later half of 2000 earnings expectations. And it turns out they had amassed a staggering $685 million in line costs. The CFO, Scott Sullivan, asked Betty and other accounting department heads to move around $825 million from the reserve accounts to cover these various expenses and line costs to make their financial health of the company look a lot better. Under accounting rules, this wasn't really allowed. After putting up a small fight, Betty and the others eventually gave in and reluctantly made these transfers. Now, although Betty was told this would be a one-time event, similar accounting transaction requests came from the top every quarter for like the next 6 quarters until the SEC came poking around and investigating. After hiring an attorney and meeting with the FBI and SEC to give a statement and confess, she eventually was indicted for securities fraud and conspiracy. Now, as far as whether or not Betty was following the IMA steps, I guess we'll start from the top. Now, the first step is discuss issues with immediate supervisors except when it appears a supervisor is involved. Now, in this situation, her immediate supervisor was involved because he was told from the top, from the chief executives, the CEO and the CFO, to make these fraudulent transfers and accounting entries. So not only was he involved, but Betty met with them to explain that the entry wasn't right and that she wanted to leave the company. What she should have done was to take it to the audit committee and board of directors. That would have been the next step above the chief executives and her immediate supervisor, which were involved. Step 2 is confidential discussion with IMA ethics counselor. Betty didn't really do this step. I'm not sure if this was around or not for her, but after several more quarters of being asked to make these fraudulent and incorrect accounting entries, she and another colleague contacted a trusted attorney to discuss his ethical conflict, which is more of step 3. So she did at least do step 3 in this for the IMA steps. Now, as far as Badaradko's advice, it was kind of difficult to see whether or not she actually was following any of his advice because it seems like she just kind of keeled over and gave in to the request to do these fraudulent entries. Even though she was guilt-stricken after doing them. But every quarter when these line fee expenses reared their ugly head and they were trying to figure out ways to make the financials look a lot cleaner, she would at least try to put off the inevitable of making these illegal transactions in the books by trying to scrub the financials to find legitimate ways to lower the expenses and improve the financial health. Not trying to do anything illegal. So this may have bought her a few days. So this kind of falls with the advice of put things off till tomorrow. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope you have a good holiday season. Thank you.